Welcome, friends, to Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter. We bring you the greatest female voices in the music industry, from the artists, songwriters, and producers, to managers and executives, and all the women who make the music industry what it is today. Thank you for joining us. Welcome, friends. I'm Donna.
I'm Paula, and today we have Melissa Ann with us. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
No worries. So, tell us and all our amazing fans, who is Melissa Ann?
Well, let's see. Melissa Ann is from South Jersey. I grew up listening to country music for my entire life, thanks to my grandfather. He was a truck driver, and the only thing that he would ever listen to was country. So I was raised on what I call old school country. So I'm talking Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, Patsy Cline, all of them. And then, of course, getting into 90s music as well, 90s country. And I've been performing now for, this will be 3 years coming up. I mostly perform in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. However, I've also been fortunate to have traveled a lot in 2019, pretty much up and down the East Coast. I've been to Maryland, Virginia. I performed in Knoxville back in 2019 as well. And yeah, I've been loving it so far these past 3 years. And it's just been a crazy country journey, that's for sure.
Perfect. That's what we love to hear. So at the moment, you just do a lot of covers. Who do you like to cover the most? Who's your favorite?
That's a great question. So I always tell people that if I can dedicate an entire show to Miranda Lambert, I probably could, because that's how much I love her and I love her songs. And it's a humongous compliment. And I don't know if it's fact, but a lot of people tell me that like I have the same tone as her. And a lot of people say that I remind them of her. And it's a humongous compliment. But if I could dedicate a whole show to her, I probably could do it with no problem.
So do you have like one favorite or like top two favorites that you always have to sing?
Miranda songs or just any country?
No, Miranda songs.
Miranda. So two for sure come to the top of my head. The first one is Tin Man. And the reason why it actually has a special meaning, because I started performing, like I said, about 3 years ago. And Tin Man was one of the first songs that I sang live, like in front of anybody. And it got people emotional. Like people came up to me and like said like how much they were moved by like my performance. And I was just genuinely shocked and about how everybody enjoyed it so much. So that's one of my favorites. And then Gunpowder and Lead is always a fun one. I usually save that one for my last set, depending on the hour time frame that I'm performing. I usually save that for one of my last songs because it gets people like out of their seats, it gets them moving, it gets them dancing. Although right now we can't really dance too close or anything like that. They still like to dance in their seats and have a good time. So if I had to choose two, those would be my favorites.
Perfect.
Those are both great picks.
Oh, I love them. Yeah. I love them so much.
You know, is there another one or two that you absolutely have to do every show? That's like you have to do them.
So when I make my sets, for the most part I perform for about 3 hours, depending on the place and what they ask for. Usually my second set I dedicate to old school country because unfortunately my pop-up's passed away. He's been passed away for a couple of years now. So I usually like to dedicate that set to him, like every time I perform, like no matter where I go. So one song that I have to perform, I feel like every time, is Mountain Music by Alabama. Alabama was his favorite band of all time. And whenever we would drive down on vacations, that would be the song that he'd blast on the radio every time. So one song that I definitely have to sing every show is Mountain Music. And then another one is Coal Miner's Daughter, Loretta Lynn. That's another one where it was one of the first songs that I ever sang. So it kind of has a special place in my heart. So definitely those two.
Perfect. Real classics.
Yeah. Oh, I love them. Can't get enough.
That's good.
Oh. So who are some of your sheroes that have inspired you to go into music? Obviously, we know Miranda Lambert and some of the old school country, but who else has been like inspirational, either in music or not, that has kind of driven that behind you to give you that drive?
Yeah, so I know she's considered old school, but definitely Dolly Parton when it comes to songwriting. I've recently gotten into songwriting not too long ago, and she's definitely one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to songwriting because she's such a good storyteller. It's insane. Her and definitely Taylor Swift when it comes to songwriting as well. I've loved Taylor Swift back when she was country. I love her now. Obviously, I do miss when she was country. But both of them I consider to be one of the best songwriters of all time. So they've definitely inspired me when it comes to songwriting for sure. When it comes to performing and just like a human being in general, one of my many obsessions is Shania Twain. Shania Twain I've been obsessed with for as long as I can remember. Like still to this day I say like at my shows like I want to be Shania Twain when I grow up. Like if I can be anywhere close to her, I think that I can consider myself extremely lucky. And just a lot of women in country music in general, even like those that are around today, like Carrie Underwood, Miranda, I've always loved them as performers. Maddie and Tay I've always really liked too. Tanel Towns is another one who's kind of new to the scene, but I love her voice and I love her songwriting as well. So I could probably come up with a good list of sheroes that I have for you guys. But those are just a few of them.
Perfect. I mean, yeah, Shania Twain's huge. I mean, she broke so many barriers when she first came out in country music. So, but no, I saw her in concert, which I was quite honoured to do, and she was just absolutely superb. So
I saw her too. The first time I ever saw her, I forget how many years ago it was, but it was her last tour, I want to say. And she came to the Wells Fargo Center in Philly, and it was my first time seeing her live because growing up, we just never got lucky enough to get tickets, and we finally did this time around. And she puts on such a good show. She's incredible. I would see her. I cannot wait to see her again. Hopefully when concerts become a thing. When concerts come back, if she does a show, that will probably be the first concert I'll try and get to.
She was doing the Las Vegas residency there, so I don't know if she's still geared to do that for after COVID. I don't know. I have no clue, but that would be an option too.
Yes, please. Oh my God, I will fly to Vegas tomorrow. Like I don't know when she's performing, but when it's announced, I'm gonna make myself be there for sure.
but yeah, she is amazing, and even with that huge break she had because of personal issues and everything else, she came back and she's just hit the ground running, and
it's insane. Like she didn't miss a beat. Like sometimes a lot of people even forget about the fact that she did take that long break because it just feels like she's been around forever and she didn't miss anything. So it's incredible.
The music she made just sort of kept her going, and she's come back and it's like, well, she's here again sort of thing. It's like, wow.
And now that I think about it, like another shero that you asked earlier is another modern one now, Kelsey Ballerini. Her and Shania Twain just released their version of Hole in the Bottle. And it's so good. Hole in the Bottle is one of my favorite songs to sing right now, especially at wineries. And the Shania Twain version with Kelsey is awesome. It's so good.
Amazing, fantastic. We could just sit here and talk.
Yeah, I know, right? I can just run the songs right now.
I think he just has such classic, timeless songs, though, because I mean, and that's what you were saying. You're saying about the old school country. Some of those are just so timeless songs. Like, that's what makes I think such great songs is when they're timeless. Like even we were talking the other day. I was talking to a friend about Bill Withers' "Lean on Me." That song is timeless. I'm like, that applied then, it applies now. It's a great song.
I cover that song as well. I usually, kind of like going back to what I said earlier about my sets. So like my first set, I dedicate to like modern country, like stuff you hear on the radio now, like things like that. Because I try and throw in a little bit for everybody, depending on the crowd and everything too. And then like my second set is like old school country, and then my third set I'll kind of mix with modern country / like songs that I'll turn like into my own thing, like Lean on Me. I've done that a couple of times, and like I Love Rock and Roll, and like I try and spin like pop songs, like indie songs, things like that, and I try and make it into as much country as I possibly can.
It sounds amazing, actually. It sounds really good,
Yeah.
But as you said, even people who don't like country, you can put on songs and they know them because they're just that iconic. So
and unfortunately where I live, I'm from South Jersey, Delran, New Jersey. There are a good amount of country fans here, but not a lot, not as much as probably people would imagine. So that's why I did incorporate the other genres as well, just so like when I go to a place and I say I'm a country singer, people aren't like, oh gosh, all I hear is country. I'm like, no, like I can accommodate too. Like just tell me what you want to hear and I'll see what I can do. So I try and be accommodating as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
I can totally get that and sympathize with you because I grew up in Eastern Pennsylvania. And
Oh, okay.
in high school, and like there were like maybe 2 or 3 other people that would admit to liking country music, and I'm like, seriously, come on, what's the problem? Like,
I'm like, come on, am I the only one? Because like I'm originally from South Philadelphia. My whole family's from South Philly, so we moved to Jersey when I was little. And if it wasn't for my grandfather, I probably would not have listened to country music today. And when it comes to listening to music, I'll listen to a little bit of everything. Definitely country, though, is at the top of my list. But when it comes to singing and performing, country is like right there. Like there's nothing else below it.
I have to say this, when you said you're from South Philadelphia, all I've got in my head is the Fresh Prince. The song. I was like, no, stop.
Rocky Balboa.
He's West Philadelphia born.
I know, but I was like,
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean,
I think Rocky Balboa right away, you know, because
my mom, it's funny. My mom tells me stories all the time about how growing up in South Philly, in high school, she saw Rocky being made like right out of her school window.
Wow.
Like she talks about it all the time and how amazing it was.
That must have been superb. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're known for a lot of stuff. Cheesesteaks, the Rocky Balboa, Fresh Prince. We got it all. We were known for a couple things.
I think I need to go to Philadelphia now.
Hey, I'd gladly show you around for sure.
Oh, perfect. And as you said, growing up, obviously in certain areas about country music, I mean, growing up in the UK, you definitely did not admit to country music.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously different now, but when I was growing up at school, if they heard that you were from, you like country music, like, that's old people music. It's like, you just hide that bit. And you just like, you like the charts just to sort of, get through life and hide the other obsession at home. But yeah, it's not easy. So this is the fun part.
Okay.
So this is the quick fire questions. Okay, they're dead easy, but it's so people watching can get to know you a little bit better, and they can relate to you even more. So perfect.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
Let's do this. Okay, early bird or night owl?
I'm early bird for sure.
Beach or countryside?
Say it again.
Beach or countryside?
Oh, beach. Beach for sure.
Favorite season?
Summer.
Biggest fear?
Biggest fear? Oh gosh.
Yeah.
This is probably gonna be cheesy, and a lot of people say this, but like insects. I'm not an insect person by any means, and I'm just like, get away from me. So if I had to pick, I'd probably say the insect. I'm a girl.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Favorite drink?
Ooh. I would have to say I'm a big margarita girl. So probably margarita.
Margarita, I love that. Left or right-handed?
Right-handed.
Favorite animal?
Dolphin.
Yeah, that's a different one. Yay! Cool.
favorite color?
Purple.
If you could talk to anyone, dead or alive, who would it be, and what would you want to talk about?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. Wow. If I could talk to anybody, dead or alive, like in like the music industry, or just like
Like Gandhi and talk world peace, or Mother Teresa and world peace, and things like that. Yeah, whatever.
Wow.
Or,
well, honestly, one person that I've always wanted to meet, and I'm like super bummed that I never had the chance to meet them. He is actually country music related. Johnny Cash. I would love to have like a sit down conversation with him about like music in general, because he's such a genius. He was such a genius when it came to singing and songwriting, and I've been a fan of him for years. So he's probably one of the first people that just came to my head. So probably Johnny Cash.
Perfect.
What's one of your hobbies?
So apart from singing, I love to, I'm a big I'm a big Netflix person. So I love binging like TV shows, like especially now since like right now we can't really do too many things. I've been obsessing over the show Bridgerton, because that's absolutely incredible. I loved my friends, my family, trying to spend as much time with them as I possibly can. I love bowling too. Am I good at it? No. But my dad is like an all-star bowler and makes fun of me all the time because I'm not good, but I love doing it anyway. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
That's cool. That's cool.
If you were a musical, what musical would you be?
Ooh, these are great questions. Oh my gosh. All right, if I were a musical, what would I be? Wow, there's a lot to choose from. Wow. I don't want to hold you guys. I'm thinking of all the musicals. Like, oh my goodness. Wow. This is hard.
Okay, so then what's your favorite musical?
Let's say my favorite musical. I recently saw Frozen on Broadway and that was really, really good. That was one of the last ones I saw. I'm a big Wicked fan too.
Nice.
Wicked is a really good one. My family were actually Disney Vacation Club members, and so I've seen a good ton of the Disney shows on Broadway. I've been to Disney like too many times. It's kind of sad. But
It's never too many times you go to Disney.
Oh my god! If I had to give you a number, I would say I've probably been to Disney like maybe 15, 16 times, like something like that. Like I know it's sad. You're trying to drop. You're like, oh my gosh, she's crazy. Like,
amazing. That's the best thing ever. You're gonna be best friends.
I mean, my grandparents were Disney Vacation Club members, and from the time I was 4 to 13, we went every single year to Disney World. And then nowadays we kind of switch back and forth between Disney World and Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, which there is also a Disney resort there. If you've never been there, it's absolutely beautiful. But I've seen all the Disney Broadway shows, like Frozen, Aladdin, like they were all so good. So I'm a big Disney girl, so any Disney Broadway show, I'm all over.
Okay, well, we are going to be friends. That's it. We're going to be Disney buddies.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
You can never go wrong with Disney.
No, not at all.
Disney box.
So if you could be a mythical creature, what creature would you be?
Mythical creature. I always like the Harry Potter creature. I also like Harry Potter too. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. So I'm trying to think of one of them because there's a lot. I'd say probably like a phoenix or something along those lines. I'm trying to think of the exact names because I know they had like very weird, very strange names. But probably something along the lines of that, if that makes any sense.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So if you could be a Disney character, what character would you be?
Oh, here we go. Here's my favorite question.
We'll let you have two.
My favorite Disney movie of all time is Beauty and the Beast. That's been my favorite for as long as I can remember. And so Belle, I'm still obsessed with Belle. Like I still have, and it's actually funny. It's sitting right here. I actually have my Belle mini ears. They're in my room right now. So Belle, hands down. If I could be anybody, I'd be her.
That's awesome.
She's not an ordinary princess, I think. So.
Oh no, she's different. She's I love it. I love Beauty and the Beast. It's definitely one of my all-time favorites. I have to say.
Yeah, for family reasons too. That's definitely one of my favorite movies.
I remember in the original where Angela Lansbury was the teacup singing the song. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
like how can you? There's just some people you can't.
What did you guys think of the newer Beauty and the Beast, the one with Emma Watson?
It's not bad actually. I think they did a really good job of transforming it across. So
I think so too. Emma Watson surprised me. Like at first when I heard she was gonna be Belle, I'm like, can she sing? Like I didn't know she could or not. I had no clue. And then she sang. I'm like, okay, it's not bad. All right, I'll give it to you.
I guess we have to make you the next Belle, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That'd be the dream of my life. I don't know if I can fill those shoes, but if I could for a day, I would. Like I don't know if I have the chops to do it, but I would love to try someday.
That'd be so cool.
If there's ever a country version of Beauty and the Beast that ever comes around, put my name on the list.
That'd be amazing. Could you imagine that country version of Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, like a country version. I think that would be cool. Like they've interpreted so many of these movies now into like different ways. Like A Star Is Born, like that's been done how many times now, but in like different ways. So they could probably do it with other like Disney movies too.
There's got to be a way around it. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, okay, so what's your favorite snack?
I am a very big, when it comes to candy, I'm a very big gummy bear person.
Ooh.
I love gummy bears. I can eat like so many, it's insane. I also love, if I had, I'm trying to think more, apples and peanut butter is definitely a go-to, like a healthy, like go-to snack that I usually get to. I've been trying to eat healthier nowadays. I've actually just lost 35 pounds recently. So I've been like working hard and like trying not to cheat as much as I'd like to, but if it's healthy choice, then definitely apples and peanut butter. But if I'm looking to cheat, then definitely gummy bears for sure.
Both are great options.
I know, they're so good.
So if you could give us a song recommendation, one that we have to listen to, what would you tell us? What song would you tell us to listen to?
It's actually, you know what? I'm so happy you said that because I saved it on my phone because I was listening to it in the car the other day. It's off of Morgan Wallen's new album. So I don't know if you've heard it. It's a duet he does with Chris Stapleton called Only Thing That's Gone. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Their voices together, it's insane. Like I respect women and men in country music. That song is absolutely incredible. So if you haven't heard it yet, that one, and I mean, obviously, I know you said you're a fan of Dolly, so I know you've probably heard this song before. But Little Sparrow by Dolly Parton is up there with like my top 5 favorite songs of all time. Because I think lyrically, it's like one of the most beautiful songs ever.
Absolutely, I would agree with that.
Definitely. So, the last and final question.
Okay.
Who is your favorite CWC host?
I mean, I can't choose. I mean, I have so much in common with both of you guys. Like, you're both Disney fans. We like country music, women in country music. I can't choose. There's no way. I love both of you guys. I'm so happy I got to know you guys better, too.
We'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This has been awesome.
No worries. It's been great. So tell us, what does the rest of, I know 2021 still looking a bit iffy, but what have you got planned for the rest of the year?
So there's a couple of things I have up my sleeve. So again, not knowing what 2021 is going to look like, I'm hoping that it's like semi-normal, whatever that looks like nowadays. But I'm in talks right now to possibly be performing at some festivals in the summer around Wildwood in New Jersey. So I'm hoping that pans out because that would be awesome. I'm working on some original songs as well. I've been working with a songwriter who lives up in my area, but actually goes like back and forth between here and Nashville because he's a songwriter there as well. His name is Kenny Curcio, and he's so good. He's amazingly talented. So I've been working with him over the past couple of months on some songs, and so I'm hoping to have those released as well, and performing more, because lately I haven't been performing too much because of everything, but I'm hoping to slowly start performing more and performing at the festivals and getting songs out there and kind of going a lot of things by ear at this point. Hopefully we'll be all together again for concerts and such.
That'll be good. We can go out and be free.
Yes, right. Run out. I'm free.
Exactly.
I miss concerts and everything. I can't wait till it all comes back.
Yeah, and Florida here has been doing a lot of little things, and that, you know, they do things all the time here, and not requiring masks, some of them. But yeah, I know they've had some concerts down here at some of the local venues, and it's like I would love to go, especially because I had a co-writer that he was doing this past Saturday down at the ranch in Fort Myers, and I'm like, oh, that would have been awesome, but I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not coming out right now. Not till things calm down. But
I know. I mean, everything's a hit. One day I hear things are great. The next minute I hear like it's decline. It's all over the place. So I'd rather not perform like big events until I know for sure that people can be safe and healthy, because that's the most important thing.
Yeah, you've got to stay safe and, you know, protect yourself until we know for sure that they've got it under control and, you know, we're safe to leave the house again. So
Exactly.
all good fun. But no, it's been absolutely fantastic meeting you at last.
Thank you so. I've had so much fun. This has been amazing. I would love to do it again soon.
we'll definitely do it again soon.
Oh yes, definitely, yeah. So thank you very much for joining us on our wacky ride.
Thank you guys so much.
No worries. See you soon.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's episode of Crazy Women Country, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to click the subscribe button for new interviews weekly. And thank you, friends, for joining us today on Crazy Women Country, where women's voices matter.